Hello and welcome to the Road to Paupergeddon episode 7. This is where I'm testing Blue Terror and Dimir Terror for the next Geddon. And today we have a bit of a special one. I will be playtesting with Marshal from the Marshals StrataGames account. And yeah, we've set up some testing on MTGO. It's nice to see it. If you haven't checked out their stuff, they do quite a variance of decks. I always appreciate the content. I will put a link in the description. And we will be playing Blue Terror against Giant Wildfire on the first matchup, and then Dimir Terror against Black Sacrifice on the second one, and then we will just take it from there. So yeah, shoutouts to them again. Really cool that we can have this. And I'm jumping into the decks I'm playing today. So Blue Terror, as you are used to by now from me, playing Delvers, and then 2 Sleep, 2 Demon Furia. I'm currently on 3 Dispel. There was 2 Dispel, 2 Spell Pierce before, but I kind of like the approach of the 3 Dispel and will keep trying that. And that opens one more slot so that we can play all the play sets of Brainstorm, Ponder, Mental Note, and Thought Scour. Besides that, I also try to trim down the sideboard, so Envelop is gone, and instead I'm running one more Gutshot, which makes it a playset, and then one more Blue Blast, so that's 7 Blue Blast effects. And then for today, just a mix of Steel Sabotage and Annul. I think Steel Sabotage is mainly good against the Bridges decks, so I just want to test it here against Jund. I think I can get away with this, given that the matchup is quite rough. And then let's check out Dimir. Also here, nothing fancy, nothing out of the ordinary. I decided to play the 2 Ponder, 2 Abandon split and the 2 Spell Pierces. This slot I have been thinking about for a bit now. Maybe I will switch it up, because this could be Dispel as well. I realized that I bought out Spell Pierce quite a lot. So let's see. And then, 3 Mental Notes. And also for the testing, a mix of 3 Snuff Out and 3 Cast Down. And the rest is really stock. So 1 Deep Analysis, 1 Fangs, 1 Fumes, 2 Gurmax. And in the sideboard, also the mix of Annul and Steel Sabotage, 5 Blue Blasts, 1 Extractor Confession, and then 1 more Fangs, 1 more Fumes, 1 Arms of Adar, and 2 Spell Bombs. So it's pretty stockish. I think the main thing is the split between Abandon and Ponder. I also took out the Bog, because I realized if you have Bog in the starting hand, the hand is usually a mulligan, and I don't like taking mulligans that much, so I try to avoid the extra value and just went for another blue-black duel. And yeah, let's see how the games go. I'm looking forward. See you in the first round. Welcome to round 1, where we are on the play. And yeah, this is a nice little Delver Brainstorm Mental Note hand. It's especially good to be on the play here. I mean, we know what's the matchup. We know they're on Jund, and I think there is no reason not to Delver here. Only question is whether to use Brainstorm immediately to set up the Delver, or draw 1 more card for turn, so we make sure we see 4 cards for the land drop. And they have the Spell Bomb. Okay, so yeah, especially with the Spell Bomb in play, we could take it a bit slow. Interesting. I mean, they probably won't have Cast Down next turn. Nah, let's use Brainstorm anyways. We find the land, which is good. And then I think I'm down for putting these back. Show the Mental Note, draw Mental Note, play an island, and attack for the first 3 damage. So here we are representing this spell. Let's see whether it comes up. No, it doesn't. Do we want to mill the mental note? The Lorien we have on the top deck? I don't hate that. I think it's a long way until we can cast Loriens. So if we hit another spell, we could actually hardcast Serpent here. I mean, we could mental note into a Serpent. I think I'm good with a Delver for now. I think if we put mental note on the stack, that just forces the spell bomb from them. And then we could have played the Delver afterwards. Okay, yeah, maybe there was upside in using mental note first. So we're quite ahead on board, at least for now. This Krag will enter the battlefield. And now they have Spellbomb up with the black mana. So now, well, let's see if they use the Krag to get rid of this Delver. The thing is, we don't have Dispel to cover Toxin. Okay, so let's see what we reveal. And now they wipe. Oh, that's a good sign, because that means that they cannot answer Dispel. It's good we get this info. And I think I'm down for a Dispel here. So let's draw that. Attack them for 3. So maybe what we did last turn, let them think that we don't have a Terror in hand. And that's why they used the Spell Bomb for the Krag activation. But now it's Chrysalis time. And indeed, they have a Chrysalis. I think I'm waiting with Thought Scour because I could even use Thought Scour in combination with Demon Furia here. Not the worst even. We just get clean rid of a Chrysalis. These are also really good cards though. So if we wanted to do the Demon Furia plus Thought Scour line, then we need to make a land drop here. Like if we also want to play the Serpent, of course. But then we have no Dispel up, which is risky for sure. And this is a clutch moment already. It's basically between playing Serpent and having Dispel up. But I think I'm down for the Serpent. Maybe they used Krag Spellbomb early because they have more of this in hand. Tough to say. Could also one turn attack. No, we can't attack into this. It's close. You know, let's just do it. We tap out of Dispel for one turn. So let's see where they put it. Beneath the first card. Okay. And then, you know, we're tapped out. We have one card left. Let's hope this holds. Next turn we have Dispel plus Deep Analysis. If they have Toxin here, it's pretty rough. If they have a second Chrysalis, it's not amazing either, to be honest. But if they don't, then yeah, we applied the pressure that we need. I think one cast down is also fine. They have a Pulse. Okay, yeah, this would have been a really sweet Dispel target as well. But they have no board interaction, so they take quite the damage here. Let's draw 2. See whether we can find something. How about a counterspell? Okay, counterspell is good because I think they cannot double Chrysalis yet. Yeah, them drawing cards is annoying, but we need counterspell for the Chrysalis. And then, you know, if we untap, pretty decent board position. Refurb here. It's annoying, but it's not enough. Do you have to counter this refurb? Then the Chrysalis resolves, and then we need to find a removal, which is tough with just Deep Analysis. Okay. So, of course, it would have been nicer to play the game with a Dispel in hand. But now they have blocker for all our creatures. But we have Deep Analysis. Should we Lorien here? I don't think so. Let's see what we find. Removal would be the best. More threats are also good. So now we don't have Dispel against Toxin, and they could have Toxin here, but at this point, what's to be done about it? Maybe holding Delver back here is correct, but yeah, whatever. They try to draw more cards. They succeed in doing so. Yeah, so this refurb was really a clean 2-for-1. And now we're running heavily into Krark. They have 4 artifacts. It could easily be that they have been holding Krark back for the whole game, and they use the here like the Krark on turn 3 to wait for this kind of board state. But again, they're on 5 life. You can hold back a terror here. Okay, that's unfortunate, because now we lose Lorien. Do we fetch for an island? I think so. Okay, so they checked our hand, but if they have nothing else, then we still have attacks. So all these snakes can attack into the chrysalis right now. They're trying to grow it. And they find Krark. Ooh, scary. Sleep of the Dead. Look at that. Very happy to reveal that. So you're down, and you're down. Wait a second, is it better to tap one of the spawns? I think so. Yeah, they're dead on board. Okay, cool. Yeah, quite a sweet hand for mono blue. We take down game 1. Usually against the deck like Jund, it gets much harder post-combat, post-board. But then again, also we got nice tools now. I usually cut Delver. It makes for some nice pressure, but it's just so bad against refurb. Team Inferior is not good enough. And then, yeah, those are the easy cuts. And usually we have quite a few cards to bring in. So here it's nice that we have access to Steel Sabotage, because in addition to countering all the artifacts, Steel Sabotage can also bounce a bridge in response to a Wildfire, and it can, in a pinch, it can also unsummon a refurb. And you could board even more blue blasts, but what would you take out then? Okay, so yeah, when I was still running Spell Pierce, I boarded out 2 more Spell Pierce for 2 more Hydros. But now that we're on this spell I think is just kind of almost even better than the Blue Blast anyways. So game 2, this is unfortunately not really a hand. It looks beautiful, it's really great at countering. What am I doing? It's always the same. I mean, this hand is not terrible at least, but it needs a lot of help. And we will be able to contest Wildfire. So if they play Wildfire here, that would be the best outcome for us with this hand. But instead they have Wellspring. Do we Thought Scour here? I think we do. And we hit quite good, and we find a Terror. So this makes this hand a lot better. And the next turns, we have to play around Spellbomb, kind of. So I think I wouldn't counter a draw spell in this position. I would probably counter a Wildfire. Would I counter a Refurb? We could pitch a land here, so maybe no. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. We run into Spellbomb now, which is sad. And here it is. Let's see if they use it, because if they don't, I just slam the Terror. They don't. So either they have something prepared, or they want us to tap out. But if they... I mean, they could resolve a Chrysalis now, and then that's it. But I'm curious about this, because I usually use Spellbomb here aggressively. Maybe they wanted to draw the card of it. or like dare me to have a terror. I think it's a decent outcome. They would need to have a... Yeah, they could just spend a red blast. So it's again pretty risky. But with what we have in hand, if they crack the spellbomb, this terror is stuck in our hand forever. And it's turn 4 now. If we like take until turn 6 or 7 to deploy this, it's not gonna beat their whatever they have. So, it's a risk. Maybe it dies to a cast down now. Instead, there is a refurb. And they're on 1 black mana only. And now they have a Krug. So Krug already could kill this terror. But on our turn, I think I'm up for finding out. So let's attack first, because they have to spend resources, otherwise they take 5 here. And they do. And so I'm down to get rid of this now. Like, if they crack now, they lose 2 really important lands. I think they cannot afford to sack their board here. And this Hydro would have been good to protect this Lorien. Okay. Okay, so they crack. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, they want to draw a card. That's a good sign. Like, if Jan doesn't get going, that's usually great for us. And I think last turn... I know they didn't have 4 mana. So, yeah, now could be a Chrysalis turn. And it is a Chrysalis turn. And that's good in 2 perspectives, because first of all, we can counter it now, and second, next turn we just slam the Lorien, which otherwise I would have held open the counter spell again. So, sometimes you lose some options, and that opens up new options. Could have, not played this land before combat, whatever. They don't block anyways, so that tells me that they have a Chrysalis in hand. So we could try to mental note into a counterspell, but that's just really unlikely. And so I'm more down with drawing these cards. Okay, so now we're tapped out. That sometimes happens against Jund. They have found 1. Okay. Okay. So they cast down. Chrysalis would have been, I think, more difficult here. They can attack for 2. Because Chrysalis, like, they have 4 spawns, and that just means that we will be forever stuck being jumped. And now it's a Serpent against 3 creatures, and our Annul against their hand, and the Sleep against their board. I don't know, it's an uphill battle for sure, but things can happen. Maybe we draw as good as in game 1. So what's now? Cast down. Too bad. Because the Sleep would have really cleared the way here. Now we draw this spell. Okay, so I think now we can just do nothing but wait. And we have to keep them in this strangled position. Like, if they explode now the hand and we have no tempo, it's just over. Like this, it could still be that they just kind of brick, and that gives us time. So they find another offering, which makes our Sleep better again. Of course, we need a creature first. So they see our misery now. They take a null. They explore onto this refurb, find another duress. Do they keep it? Yeah. They hit for 3. I mean, Lorien, and we're back in the game. A Terror, and we could be back in the game. Counterspell is not the worst either. I'm not running this Sleep yet, because I don't want to lose it to another spell bomb. Now they Toxin. Yeah, okay. Would have been a good reason to use Sleep. That gives them a card and some life. But I mean, they're digging as well. So let's draw out of this. Overmental out. Lorien, awesome. Question is, can we afford to wait 1 more turn? I think we can. Protecting this with counterspell, I just like a bit better. It gives them more time as well, but at least I want to beat a Blue Blast, which, to be honest, is pretty unlikely that they have it. So here I'm using Counterspell, so yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't have a Red Blast. Maybe it's just a land in their hand. Brainstorm. No, I think this here is better to go for Lorien first. So we do find another Counterspell. Yeah, let's keep up these cards, play Brainstorm next turn. And I mean, we're holding them off. Usually I don't counter the draw spells, but if they run all these sideboard cards that gain no value, they sometimes just have a little less engine, and then we can get to this reduced game state. So here's a Serpent. That's already really good, but I want more. Okay, there's a bunch of more. Let's run out 2 threats and then already use a sleep. I'm just going for the kill now. If they want to attack me with this refurb, then so be it. This spawn is not gonna block next turn. Now they do res. Okay, so gone is the Dispel. They do attack. Kiba Gang Shinobi? No. So let's sleep this one. Go to combat. Attack for 10. Play Serpent. Sleep this refurb. I don't know. If playing against Junt was always this smooth. Refurb, yeah. They draw a card. Maybe they're holding. No, they're not holding onto a Krug. Cycle. 3 more mana to solve this position. And we win. Okay, awesome. So I think we had pretty smooth draws, and especially game 2 they were kind of stumbling. So yeah, nice showing of the power of the blue terror. And now we're entering the realm of the lion though. It's gonna be Dimir Terror against Black Sack next. See you in that one. Okay, welcome back to round 2, where we are on the play again with a no-lander. I mean, this hand is pretty bad, and even more so against Black Sack, I think. But we can't guarantee that we have a playable 5 at all, so I'm keeping 6. And here the question will be to turn 2 Snacker or turn 2 Counterspell. Okay, so I think the Line Breaker is the sign that they don't have one of the sack outlets, right? Because if you play against the blue deck, you would want to resolve a Carrion Feeder. But okay, they have the... Oh, okay, no. I missed that one, or maybe they top decked it. So yeah, this is not to block a Line Breaker. Snuff Out, of course, is not quite the great one here. Okay, so they do a cool trick. Supernatural Stamina on their Sacrifice Fodder to let it die and then re-enter. We also take 3 damage by this combat trick. It would have been even harder with the Nested Shambler. Then they would have gotten 3 squirrels now. Quite the scary line, actually. And what are we doing here? I think it's just Island Go for now. We could Thought Scour, but we can't really Thought Scour into anything that makes sense. Maybe I even have to hold on to it to return the Sneaky Snackers. And I have to say, I'm not really experienced with this matchup, so if you see the total blowout plays here, please have that in mind. So we have Fumes in the deck, and I think once we have a Terror and a Cast Down, we can sort through things. But the question is if we can get there. Okay, I totally didn't realize that this Carrion Feeder was on the stack. I thought it was activating. And now they have an attack. So we could Thought Scour here to try and find a Brainstorm to get this Snacker back on blocks. Maybe we even have to do that. If we had some time, I would never do that, just to make sure that we can get the snacker back in our turn. Abandon would have been great here, actually. So, are we also gonna Mental Note now? No, I think Mental Note is really better in our turn. Okay, here's a Gurmek. And a Terror. But only 4 spells. No, only 3 spells in the grave. That sucks. So, Terror is 4 mana, right? Yeah. Awesome. We could snuff out this Mercenary to make it 3 mana. We go to 9 if we do that. And otherwise, we are jamming this Gurmek, and then we're never playing this Terror? I don't know. This is a bit desperate. This is more than a bit desperate. Yeah, maybe just playing Gurmek and keep up Counterspell would have been better here. Depends a bit on their top decks as well. I think they cannot remove a Terror, and if they attack with both these Carrion Feeder, we can at least chump with the Terror if they have some more fodder. So I'm just playing a risky line here to enhance our chances to fully stabilize if they have nothing. Okay, and they go for this kind of swing. Maybe we are dead. Like, I could see a lot of stuff that puts us dead. Let's just make I could counter this, but I don't know they could have supernatural stamina. But blocking the Carrion Feeder, at least they have to have something. Because only blocking the Nezumi and the then Mercenary puts it to 4, so I'm just playing so they have to use resources. Again, if they have everything, we're probably dead, but would have been awesome to have the Snacker back, because that can absorb a lot of damage. So Brainstorm would be a great top deck here. What happened? Yeah, they have the stamina again. And then we just take 7. And okay, Fangs would also be great. So wait, what does this Mercenary do? Target creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate as a sorcery. I can live with that. Because if we have this blocking Gurmek now, then I believe we're not dead on board. And we have a counter spell to prevent, I don't know, supernatural stamina at least. And still I have belief that our one-off top-decked Fangs can get us out of this. Or maybe the value of a Brainstorm. Here is Nested Shambler. That's a lot of sacrificed triggers. And that's also potentially a lot of attackers next turn. Okay, so if I let it resolve, what happens? Their Carrion Feeder can easily eat a blocking snake. So if they just swing with everything, we lose a snake and we eat the Mercenary. And that means we are almost certainly dead next turn. I think I'm gonna counter it anyways. Sure, there are more possible cards in their hand that could kill us. But oh, they have Tragic Slip. Okay, sweet stuff. Then there is nothing to be done here. We can only block 1 creature. Let's get rid of Snuff Out then. Or before that, let's check what we can bring in. So Spellbomb is an opportunity against the Unearth effects and against the Supernatural Stamina, which I don't hate. I think I like all of these. All the sweepers, all the removal, all the life gain. I think without life gain, we are really into some problems. And then, do we need Artifact Hate? Maybe they run some spell bombs, but I think we can't really afford to go down that path. So Snuff Out is out for sure. I could see Cutting Deep Analysis. Life is very precious resource in this match, and unless, we can never hardcast this, and Like if once we outgrind them, like once we hit with one of our sideboard cards, we don't need extra value. Snackers are good. All the cantrips are good. So how good is Spellbomb? And how good is Dispel? So we've seen them run Tragic Slip, Village Rites, Supernatural Stamina, and those are quite good targets for Spell Pierce. Yeah, I think I like that better than the Spell Bombs. I think I'm running 2 Fangs. That's just once we keep the board semi in check, it either buys us time or can actually be quite threatening for them. Don't know if Fangs is correct. If we play it even more defensive, then Spellbomb could be better. This hand is just good. We are missing a counter spell, but we have all the other tools. Maybe we can get Snacker and play without losing the Brainstorm. I think Carrion Feeder is just the worst of this whole bunch, so or maybe it's even better to Snacker here. Let's go for Snacker. I think Castdown makes it that there are supernatural staminas online. Yeah, I forgot about that. I only thought about Village Rites, which I think I would have been fine. Stamina really answers the Castdown. That's a bit annoying. They have a Beetle as well. Beetle is 1 mana, right? So funny. But I think the Beetle is even stronger than the Carrion Feeder. Although the Carrion Feeder is the actual outlet. So if I kill the feeder here, then yeah, I think that's just the best. So let's go for that. And then I think I'm leave up the Brainstorm so that we can easily jump with the Snacker and have it back on blocks on our turn. And then maybe Brainstorm Thoughtscour can set up the Terror. There's another Carrion Feeder, sure. Wow, they have all the powerful creatures now. Okay, and even more sack outlets. So next turn is gonna be a really scary attack. And even this turn, I'm not going any risk. I think if they sack the whole board, yeah, that's +4 for all these beetles. And also for the Carrion Feeder. Okay, so that's out of the way. Yeah, but we need quite something here. We need to kill the Carrion Feeder. And then, let's see, do we want to mill this? We're really far from a Terror, which sucks. Do we have to hardcast the Snacker? We're gonna have 3 spells in the grave. I think we have to hardcast it. We just need more action. Okay, Brainstorm is a great draw. So is Cast Down. So let's force the issue here. I think this is just, if we don't do this, we're just gonna be in eternal problems. Okay, so with this top deck Brainstorm, it would have been great to have the Snacker in the grave. But what can you do? So they don't sack the board, which is surprising to me. I thought they would grow the beetles, but maybe they have other ways to do so. Sadistic Glee. Oh, shoot. That's gonna escalate. Oh no. Whenever a creature dies. But they don't have a sack outlet yet. I think I have to prevent some damage here. Oh, this Glee on the Shambler is nasty. But they're on 0 cards now. Pwah. This is the worst Brainstorm imaginable. So Terror is 2 mana. And then Snacker is 2 mana. Okay, so this matchup feels pretty wonky. I mean, even Arms of Hadar wouldn't get us out of this. So we need to chain so I think they just want to grow this Shambler, and I'm not really into the idea because yeah, the combo is statistically grows the Shambler, and then if the Shambler dies, it gets plus for every... if the Shambler dies, you get as many squirrels as the Shambler has power. Can we attack here? It seems kind of wicked. I mean, the board of theirs is only good if they have a sack outlet. Otherwise, it's weirdly fine. Maybe this was too aggressive. Okay, so they attacked again, but only with the 2 small ones. I didn't go for it. So now we have fumes, but the issue is if we use it here, this Shambler just goes to heaven. The thing is, playing against Blacksack, like I have the general idea of the deck, and I could even tell you all the cards, but the interactions between the cards are just beyond comprehension sometimes. So if here they attack again, I think I will just... The problem is using fumes here is not even that good. That sucked. Let's block the biggest, because that's the best with the fumes. And then they plan to deal us 8 damage. And I could see that that's a bit much. It would have been optimal to first kill this Shambler and then wipe everything. Okay, at least we eat the Mortician Beetle. Mental Note. Okay, please, Mental Note, find something great. Mill cast down and Lorien revealed. Now we have Abandon. Okay, so now we're back on blocks, right? Can we attack with 1 snacker? No. Yeah, on 5 life, that's just a bit risky. Okay, they pump up this Shambler even more. And they attack with the Shambler. Maybe they want us to trade it down, but I'm not really up for it yet. Let's just buy time. Ponder. Okay, so Ponder is gonna find me another snacker. No, it's not. I think it's too late for Spell Pierce. So let's use... How are we gonna go about this? So we get back the snacker. Would love to hit them, actually. Rotten Reunion. Nice. That was strong. Strong line. Forgot about that card. Let's see, maybe we can find a Terror or something? Or cast down. Wow, Counterspell Brainstorm. Fumes. It can't be too bad, can it? Just have to... Well, now I think we can't attack because they have just so much on the backswing. But this Fumes gives me a bit of hope that we can now get rid of this Shambler and then Fumes the rest away. If they only do this Shambler attack, then I'm gonna go for it. Super risky, but let's do it anyways. Yeah, they only need to sacrifice 1 creature to have the Shambler survive. Oh, but it doesn't. That's good news. And they can use Rotten Reunion again, right? So strong against the snackers. I was about to Fumes, but I think we have to do it on their turn to not be dead to these attacking Zombie and Mortician Beetle, so we also need to shrink them on their turn. Would have been more efficient to Fumes into Lorien, of course. This I should have maybe done before they can activate the Mercenary. We get the Terror, and they just swing with all. Okay, let's cleanly answer that now. And now, for example, Fangs would be great. Another Terror. We're gonna run into the thing again. Now we got Spell Pierce up, but it won't do enough. Yeah, Rotten Reunion. They make another zombie, and we're still very close to dead. I think Terror here is better than Extract. So game 1 they had all the sack outlets, and now game 2 not, and that I think hurts the black sack deck a whole bunch. Rotten Reunion was incredible. Okay, so they got a Shambler. I think I'm gonna make them sack the Mortician Beetle. There doesn't seem to be much better targets coming. And yeah, I'm just swinging. If they have Tragic Slip or something, we're dead. But they also need to let a creature die. But this way, if we can get rid of the Shambling Guest, we put them dead on board. Don't attack, which is good for us. Now we have Arms of Adar. I hope this will seal the deal. Let's not click through combat here. Attack for 9. And we get there. Phew. That was brutal. Yeah, I think the black sack deck needs quite a few pieces coming together. And I mean, it's easy. They have a redundance on all of them. So sacrifice fodder, sacrifice outlet, and then the payoff cards. And in the last game, they had like really wide board. They just needed something to sacrifice something, but they couldn't find it for like 5 or 6 turns. And that made us stabilize. This hand is not terrible. No, it's actually, we have Mental Note into Counterspell or Abandon. We're missing black mana, but there is a Terror inside, and they go down to 5. Okay, so the somewhat synergistic combo-y nature of the black sack deck makes it so that you can be really far behind on turn 3. Okay, so they have the Bloodthorn Vampire. Scary card if you have no board. Very scary card, to be honest. Yeah, and if we don't have black mana, that was the iffy thing about this hand, then we don't have access to cast down the Sweepers, Fangs, and the Snackers. And I think we actually have a hard time beating this Bloodthorn Vampire if we can't find black mana here. At least it's kind of a one-hit wonder. So fun. Oh, yeah, this is, yeah. Yeah, look at this line. They spent 3 mana, and they already did 5 damage and put up this board. And they have a Shambler again, so if they have stamina again, it's just trouble. So whatever we do here begins with a creature. So we could just Mental Note into a Terror, but I think I also want to find an Ice Tunnel, so I start with Brainstorm. There is that. We have now 4 spells in the grave, and we need to mill 1 more, which we can do. Ah, no, I miscounted. So now again we don't have... That's just bad. So they have potential 9 damage here. I would love to attack back with a Terror with Fangs, but I think that's just out of question here. Not great, not great. We could use the Vampire to block and to force them sack all the squirrels, but then we're never gonna Fangs unless we find it with Brainstorm, another Terror. But now we're dead on board to this attack, right? So if they sack everything that's +4, +10, yeah, we're pretty much dead to it. I think we just have to buy time now. Try to find cast down, stay up on life. So we take 3. We find another Terror, which is awesome. I think I'm gonna Brainstorm again. Maybe we find another Terror. Angler, Counterspell. Okay. So Angler we can maybe play next turn. Having up Spell Pierce I think is not bad. So let's put it back like this. Play an Ice Tunnel. play a Terror and we have Spell Pierce up. Okay, so they Tragic Slip. Okay, I'm really glad that we have the Spell Pierce. And that's actually decent because if they want to, they use a lot of tokens here to attack us, which they do. I think it's probably forced. But after this, they have the Bloodthorn and one more creature. And now we have Gurmek. We have the Fangs up for next turn, and we have a counter spell. So, wow. I think we can't allow that. So, are we playing Fangs and attack here? Yes, I think we are. This is kind of telegraphing what we have, but they don't block. We could have waited one more turn to maybe abandon into a counter spell if we need it, but I'm down for that risk. And I could see even not using the abandon here. Okay, so next turn they're gonna block with the squirrel. Now let's just try to discard better cards than cast down. Good one. I think so. If we play it really patient, we don't cast down here. But come on, every now and then, you just gotta go for it. There's Mortician Beetle. We can't counter that. They swing for 1 and they scoop. Why did they attack for 1? Don't really know. Let's find more stuff. Brainstorm is decent. I don't know, do they have Death Touch or something? Yeah, we could have Brainstorm for another Terror here. Forgot about it. Okay, decent looking cards. And that should probably seal this matchup. Because with 2 counter spells, nothing they do will enter the battlefield. And eventually we will jump through this board. Okay. That would have been a reason to use Village Rights. No. Would have been a reason to use the Extract last turn. I think that would have been correct. I kind of clicked through it. And we win this one. Okay. So I think in game 1 and 3 they had pretty explosive starts. Fortunately on game 3 we were able to stabilize from it. And then game 2 I felt like a brick game for them. And let's see which matchup is up next. See you on the next one. Welcome to round 3, where we'll be playing the red Dredge deck now. Let's see if I can quickly show you the deck. So this is what we're running. It's the version with Skittering Kitten, Voldaren Epicure, and Fairy Temper and Grab the Prize. So it's the more of the mid-rangey version. And let's see what we can do. So I think we're up against Esper. Marshal is also a known Esper grinder. And I mean, this hand I'm keeping every day, every night, till the rest of my life. Because we have an Epicure into Grab the Prize Sneaky Snacker. What can you ask more? Okay, so if it's Esper, Raven's That's hilarious. Are we gonna get bocked? I'm not taking the bait. Of course we're gonna get bocked. So... Okay, so we established a nice start. Epicure into Grab the Prize. They Raven Crime into Cryogen's Relic. Yeah, they wanted to get the Raven Crime out of the way. Oh, now they get the Spellbomb already. Okay. So let me think here. So first let's attack. And I think this relic could mean that we could force the relic here. So discard Snacker and then play Looting. But we lose quite a bit of material and the board is empty, so I think it's decent for now to just play this Gatekeeper and pass. The same, like we could have also Blood Token, discard the Stinkweed Imp and try to force the Spellbomb that way. So they have not found white mana, and the 4th land drop is also no white mana, so I think that they could refurb us, of course, but they can't get the Skyfisher Cryogen Relic going, which I don't mind at all. So now we delayed the decision one more turn, but now the question is again, I think if we Looting into Stinkweed Imp, it doesn't make much sense because we just fill the graveyard and might not even force them to crack the Spellbomb. I messed up. Of course you can't play Looting first. Okay, then let's switch the plans. Let's discard the Stinker instead. Try to force the Relic this way. We could even flashback Looting. Cast Down, that's a good one. And then I assume that they will... We could use the Looting as long as we have it, and just make sure that that they have to crack. And then next turn we have Grab the Price into Snacker again. What's this? Wow, this is so complicated. This looked much easier previously. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I think I'm just going for a mid-range game plan here. Okay, so they have another cast on, so now the graveyard is gone. But they're at... now they can get the Skyfisher going. Okay, so pretty decent for them. But at least we have resources left. For sure I messed it up last turn. Let's play the scrap work. Try to find another Snacker. We find an Imp instead. I don't hate to discard that. We can Dredge once, I think. And then draw the Snackers into play. Perfect. Do we play this land? So land would mean we could use the blood token to Dredge next turn. But I would rather discard it into Looting eventually. Okay, so we got them on the back foot. And we could Dredge here before doing anything else. And I don't hate that. Let's just get a good healthy graveyard going. Draw for turn. We find another Grab the Prize. And I think I'm just going for lethal here. Maybe I'm overseeing something. But if they have Flame Charm, I think it's almost forced here. Fumes. That's a good one. Okay, but we can draw 3 more cards. Oh, and now they Flame Charm as well. That's strong. Yikes. Okay, now a lot of Snackers from our deck are gone. Okay, I think now we just have to max out the 25 cards that we have in the deck. And, do something with it. So there's a lot of cards gone. We have 2 Snackers, we have all the Snackers gone. And we have 1 Gatekeeper, 2 Gatekeepers gone. And 1, 2, 3 Mudds. Okay, but the good news is we have 2 more Gatekeepers in the deck and 1 more Mud. And then also all the Lot-Lift Giants. So I think if we mill all the cards and they don't have another Flame Charm, then we can still kill them with a good old Dread Return. And they're setting the beat down up to stop that. We have to discard yet another card. Okay, let's Dredge away. So this is looking good, no? We Gatekeeper. We Scrapwork Mud. We mill some more cards. We play an Epicure, and then we Dredge return a lot-lived giant, sacking 3 creatures for the lethal damage. Sweet. Okay, so game 1, I assume when it comes to Graveyard Hate it will only get worse from here, but at least we got the game 1. And I think we're lucky that they couldn't find white early, because that way we got like a lot more time, and they had very few blockers in the beginning. In the beginning it looked really good, but then they came back with these banger main board cards that they have. So I'm gonna put in Brambleworm, although I'm not sure if it's good enough actually. I mean, it stops all their flyers and we can attack into the birds, but it's just not as much of a threat as is a Lot-Lived Giant. And then Siege Smash I think is awesome. We could even Ponza them on their non-bridge artifact lands. Fang Dragon, I think that doesn't do much. Brambleworm, could see it being good, but I think a Brambleworm, they can answer it. They have Cast Down, they have Thraben Charm. Yeah, I think it's not good enough. And then what else do we take out? I kind of like Temper, just to clear the board, but also Cathartic Reunion is really good against them because they have no blue blasts. Maybe the kitten has to go. Yeah, let's just try it without the kitten. I mean, we take out a creature, which is bad for our Dread Return count. And maybe the kitten is good just for the mid-range plan, then it would have been better to take out the Cathartic Reunion. But game 1, I felt like the grab the prizes were so strong. Yeah, this hand is not amazing, but it doesn't take much to get amazing. I think Snackers are just so strong against them. Upsala, please don't miss the whole turn. And we have 2 land drops and an Epicure. And now we also have a Scrapwork Mud, so we have 2 more ways to cycle cards to eventually find Grab the Prize or Cathartic Reunion. And I mean, do we discard a Snacker? Yeah, I think there's enough upside for that. Refab is actually really risky against this deck. Do we temper it? So if we discard the other Snacker here, I think that's running into trouble. I would really love to be able to draw 2 here, but we just can't. Another temper. I think this needs to go. Maybe we need to take out 2 tempers. I mean, now we have way too much of them. And I'm rather discarding a giant here because it's just too risky to lose Snacker to Bojuka Bok here. And if we want to enable it next turn, we can use the blood for it. But we miss 1 draw here to really get this hand exploding. Best draw would be Cathartic Reunion. Second best, Fury Temper. Even a Mud would do it. Looting would do it. Another Epicure would do it. There's a lot of good draws. But without it, we are a bit stuck. Yeah, here's the Bog. Yeah, if nothing else, I'm gonna Fury Temper next turn the Refurb with the blood. Cathartic Reunion? Epicure. Yeah, that doesn't work, unfortunately. What's more important? Getting a Snacker in play or getting rid of this Refurb? I think getting a Snacker in play. They are more likely to block here. Yeah, maybe should have been even more patient. But these tempers can do work later on. And we can also hardcast them at some point. Which we just... Oh, what's this now? Oh, what am I thinking? Of course they have Blue Blast. Okay. So they run out the Cryogen and a Glinthawk and get going. Okay. Oh man, now we're in a pickle. Such a weird spot. Such a weird spot we brought into. But I mean, that was the risk of this starting hand. That if we don't find a draw spell, then, of course the Dredge deck doesn't do much. Okay, we found another Epicure. Not the worst. Click through combat. Okay, so we're getting into the misconcentration mode. They replay the Cryogen. They duress. Okay. Can't use duress. And they have a scary gazillion cards in hand. We could start dredging next turn. Or we can try to... I think actually dredging is better now. Like if we top deck a draw spell then... But we have looting now. So we can use looting to get the snacker in play. And then discard the 2 stinkers to get the grave going. And if they don't have grave hate now, then this scrapwork mud and the 2 stinkers in the grave can actually escalate quite quickly. And they start racing. But this just takes a couple more turns. And let's just... I mean, they have Thraben Charm up, but can we really play around it? I don't think so. We could hardcast the Gatekeeper, but that's just pretty slow. Yeah, but still it's probably better than overextending here. So maybe, let's see if they full swing. Maybe we need to start jumping soon. We have only lost 1 Lot-Lift Giant. So if we fully escalate on dredging, we might even be able to do it next turn. But they're just completely ignoring Thraben Charm. Can we beat Thraben Charm in their hand? And Fumes, when it comes to that. Now let's just buy 1 more turn. They refurb us. Yeah, again, let's get rid of this mud. I mean, if they have Thraben Charm, they would use it here, right? So we have 1 Dread Return already. I don't know. I'm just going for it now. Can't really find the creativity to do something else. Milling 2 Gatekeepers would be awesome. We could looting. No, we can't. We dredged 3 times already. So this is... we could... Yeah, to be honest, that's just... We could scrap work 1 more and then Dread Return Lot-Lift Giant. And if they have Thraben Charm, it's all the same anyways. But this... I think this plays a bit better around Fumes. It happens. Well, maybe we could have extended even more then. I think there's no way we can kill them now. We could dredge more, but I also don't see the necessity. Maybe they have Fumes and they wanted to wait for us to get back the scrapwork, and then with the trigger on the stack they could have prevented Dread Return. So I kind of like the line that we took, playing around Fumes. Could have gone for the kill here, but again, if they have anything in hand, then we got pretty far, I would say. And next turn we have the Gatekeeper, a mud, and with that we can either try to set up another Dread Return. Okay, so the Giant is gone. 1 Dread Return. We have 1 more Dread Return. No, 2 more Dread Return in the deck. But now also we need to be really quick. Is it better to looting here? No. We need a couple of creatures. I think I have to dredge here. Oh, we find Dread Return. Good for us. And most importantly, we also find the Gatekeeper. So, is there any way not to attack here? I don't think so. And then we can win by Dread Returning an Epicure. Should we do that? Chat, what are you saying? No, first of all, that's disrespect. And second, I don't know if they have any instant speed life gain. But they don't. We take this one. Okay. Yeah, sweet showing again of a funny deck. Shoutouts again to Marshal for running these testing games. I hope you enjoyed the series. Don't forget to leave a subscription. I will be running a challenge soon, and you will get to see it when we reach 100 subbies. And hope you have a great weekend. See you.